Hey, what's up? This is Amy Dumas. You may know me as Lita. And you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.
Well, welcome to In Your Head Wrestling Radio and the internet icon, Jackie Jones.
Hi, I'm Treacherous Trista.
And we're joined by Paola Calvo, the co-director of Luchadoras, which
Hello.
Amazing. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So for people not aware yet, could you explain to them what Luchadoras is about?
Yeah, Luchadoras is a feature documentary which is going to be shown at South by Southwest from next week on. It's a film about courageous women in Ciudad Juarez who they fight not only in the ring because they are also wrestlers, but they also fight in their daily life for representing a new role model of what it means to be a woman in Mexico.
Yeah, I want to tell people right away, even if you're not a wrestling fan, I don't think that's going to affect, you'll like this movie regardless. You don't have to be a wrestling fan to be involved in the movie.
Yeah, I was not a wrestling fan before, and I am now. But yeah, I agree with you. You don't have to be a wrestling fan to like the movie. It touches a lot of different topics. So. Oh
yeah. I mean, right away, right to begin with, it gets right into it, and it's very emotional, and you realize what kind of world they're living in. And
yeah.
Since you weren't a wrestling fan, how did you get involved? When did the idea come up? We'll make this documentary.
Well, I mean, I was I knew about what was happening in Ciudad Juarez with all the femicides taking place and all the violence against women. And it's devastating to know that there is a place where these things happen. And Patrick, the co-director, and me, we were asking ourselves, how do women live in such a place? Not only women, like how do you have a normal life in such a city like Ciudad Juarez, where so many violence is taking place? So we did some research, and we found out that lucha libre is very big in Ciudad Juarez, and we were very happy to discover that. And then we put together all these ingredients, like a city which is very well known because of violence against women, but at the same time, the city is also a place where women jump in the ring and are super strong. So we thought it's explosive, actually, these kind of elements. And we went there and we met wonderful people and this wonderful woman. And then we decided to make a film also to, what you hear about Ciudad Juarez and about the women are mostly portrayed as victims in Ciudad Juarez because of all what they have suffered. And it is true. There was a lot of suffering. There is a lot of suffering in the woman. But the women in Juarez, they are also fighters, and they also fight back, and they say, we don't want this anymore. And that's why we decided to make the film.
I was very struck by the music in the film. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, the music. Well, it was very, it's nice that you're saying that you're the first person talking about the music. The music had a very, of course, big meanings. We were working with, first of all, we were working with, now let me get the names, La Pura Pulpa, who is a wonderful band from Mexico, who they make this kind of political songs, but very self-made, with a lot of passion, a lot of energy. And we thought that let's say what they defend as a band was, we were totally identifying with them. So it has this political message. Using their music for the film was very important. And then there is this wonderful singer, Carla Rivarola, who did the song for the credits for the end, which was also an amazing work together. This was a song composed especially for the film, and it was an amazing work because she got very empowered when she watched the film, and she really put so much energy in generating this very powerful and full of emotion song. And yeah, the song, there are different kinds of songs. There are songs which are more folkloric, let's say, that are reaching more the Mexican culture, but there is also a little bit more of electro moments when the situations get a little bit more, let's say, dramatic at some points. And then we were also working with two wonderful musicians who were doing the original score for the film. And this was also very interesting work because the question was, okay, what are the sounds from Ciudad Juárez that we want to put into the soundtrack? And then the boys really, they came up with ideas that were super, super, super nice. We went to the streets and we recorded the sounds in the deserts and the sand and the wind and whatever. Like, we made it very emotional at some point. And yeah, they finally made a wonderful original score for the project. So very different types of music for the film, for sure.
Was it hard to find three women to open up and talk about their experience?
No. Let's say the women in Ciudad Juárez, they are very strong. They know where they live. They know what they do. It's not a problem to talk about the situation. And on the contrary, like, they were very happy that the interest was there and that we wanted to make this film. It was difficult to decide who was going to be part of the film. We were shooting with a lot of different wrestlers, female wrestlers, you say, sorry, I have a lot of languages in my head. Female wrestlers. So it was difficult to decide who was going to be part of the film at the end. And there were a lot of reasons why at the end it was focused on the three of them. We were shooting actually with four, and the fourth one, at the end, it was not, because the film is not only the stories of each one of the women, but it's also like let's say the complete work, how they work all together with the three of them. And the fourth one, unfortunately, was not working that well, but I mean, she's an amazing wrestler and we love her above everything. So Miss Kat, if you hear to that, please know, and you know it. I don't have to say you know it. So yeah, that's it was a very interesting process. It was amazing to get to know all these women. It was a very inspiring experience to make the film.
It was obviously a dangerous area, and there's even a curfew, for women at night. So was it dangerous at all to film there?
Okay, there is no curfew, and there are a lot of people going to the streets to avoid this kind of decisions, because it is not fair that women are the victims in this place and that women have to pay the price for the situation, that they are even the victims. So, and this is sadly something that happens a lot. If something happens to a woman, oh, it's her fault because her skirt was too short, or oh, it's her fault because she was wearing red nails, or oh, it's her fault because blah, blah, blah. And we have to really stop thinking like this, because we really need a change. And when we were there, you're right, there was the interest or the idea of making a curfew for women to not go out in the streets at night so that they don't get killed. Mm-hmm. But of course, this idea is just totally stupid and out of a brain that, just doesn't think, because that is not the problem. The problem is not the women in the street at night. The problem is that there are people killing women. So we have to put a solution for that problem. The women are not the problem. So the situation in Juárez is very, very, very strong. It's very violent. It's very complex. It's not something that you can explain just in one or two words. People are afraid, or women were afraid for a very long time. Some of the protagonists say that in the film, that even the neighbors will hear the woman screaming, but nobody will go out to help them. But this is changing. This is changing because a lot of people suffered a lot, and a lot of women were killed. And there is this idea, the feminist movement in Mexico is now very strong, and there is this slogan saying, we are now the seeds. No, the dead bodies of the women of Juárez are the seeds of the women who are now going to the streets and protesting. So they were afraid for a very long time, but things are changing and they are screaming for a change.
But did you run into any problems yourself while filming?
Well, nothing happened to us, okay? So we are here, everybody's happy, everybody's living their life. So it's a difficult question. The thing of living in a place like Ciudad Juárez, the thing is that the place is dangerous because you listen to the news, you hear what happens, you hear somebody was shot in the corner, and you go there and you have the blood spots on the thing. So things happen, like really real violence. This is not a joke. It's real violence happening there. So the situation is that when you live in such a place, the most difficult thing to deal with is the fear, because you know that something could happen, then you feel afraid, and this fear is gonna, let's say, control the way you behave. So were we in difficult situations? We were afraid in so many moments, in a lot of moments, like almost every day there were moments where I will say to Patrick, I don't feel secure here. Patrick will say, Paola, everything is fine. Or the other way around, where the protagonist will say, Pao, we have to leave now. And I wouldn't question that, even though I didn't feel the fear they were feeling. If you're saying we have to leave, we're leaving. No, there's no doubt on that. But that's the thing. You have to learn to deal with the fear, and you have to learn to deal if what you're feeling, if your belly feeling is based on real danger or if it's paranoia. And that's the difficult thing, because paranoia can be really everywhere, and the danger too. So it's very a difficult balance. It was a tough experience, but at the same time, as I said, we learned a lot. And the most important thing was we were so inspired by those people, because their realities are so tough, and they deal in this place where really, we are talking about that. It's horrible, the things that happen there. But they stand up every day with a smile on their face, and they have a power and they have an energy that I don't see these in other people that have, like, let's say, other that live in other cities or in other places. So, yeah. Did I answer your question?
Oh,
sorry, I just quick and I forget.
Definitely. Trista, you have another question?
Did COVID affect the release of your film?
Well, yes, of course, because we have world premiere now, and I am sitting in cold Berlin, and, and the festival is taking place in Texas. So yeah, it's affecting, of course, the mobility of the film. I hope it's not affecting the how do you say it, like making it accessible to the public, because nowadays festivals are changing, and thanks God, or unfortunately also because of COVID, we have to rethink how to see cinema and how to deal with that. So I hope that the film still finds its audience. But yeah, it's a pity because, imagine, for example, Texas is just, or Austin is just, I think 6 hours drive from Ciudad Juarez. It's super close. So it will be so amazing to take all the wrestlers, make a huge caravan, driving cars from Ciudad Juarez to Austin and bringing them there, because they're used to deal with the public of the fights, of the wrestling fights, but they are not used to deal with the public from a cinema. And I really wanted them to be there, in front of a different audience, talking about their experiences, so that they get another perspective of how amazing it is what they really are. And this is really a pity. For me, the reason why I wanted to make this film was to take them out of there and give them another perspective, so they understand the meaning of what they do. But maybe we manage this in summer, so hopefully there are some festivals taking place in summer and we can do something like that. But yeah, it affected in the way that we cannot move, and it's a pity for them, from my perspective. Yeah.
Do you still keep in touch with everybody in the movie?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We were texting yesterday. There was a news channel from Juarez yesterday made a news about the film, and they put the trailer, and then they were kind of, Paola, we're in TV, wow, it's so crazy. So yeah, we're close. We're very close. Yeah.
This is probably too early to ask, but what are the plans to do with Luchadoras after the festivals? After the festival strategy, you mean in a couple of years? Yeah, yeah.
It's very early to answer that question. I dream a lot, and my dreams are very big, but I'm a small filmmaker, so I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
And the
Everything is
films
open.
are just starting, so you have a long time.
It's a great starting. No, it's great. It's great. We're super, super happy.
Trista, you have another question?
Do you have any advice for aspiring filmmakers?
Yes, I will say, when you make a film, there are a lot of people on the way who are going to tell you, this is not right. You're not going to sell this project. But there are too many women taking place, or we already had some feminist films in our founding. I'm sure we're not going to found this in, there are a lot of people on the way who are going to bring you stupid arguments why your film doesn't have to be done. And you will meet more people saying no to your project than saying yes. So the only thing I say is perseverance is super important. Continue, fight for your dreams, fight for your ideas, but also be smart and listen to what people say. There are some people, you don't have to take everything, but it's good to listen what they say, and then you can decide. You can take notes. I'm always taking notes, and when I'm meeting people, I'm always writing everything down, and then I go home and then I say, okay, what did they say? Okay, bad, it's not important, but this is important. So, but don't get the energy go down because people say no to your project, because this will happen a lot. But at the end, if you believe in your project, then you will make it.
How long did you shoot for? How long did you film with everyone?
It was a long shooting. We were in Juarez for five months, I would say, more or less, back and forth. But it was a long time there. Yeah.
How long is that process to edit that down into a feature movie?
Oh, I think maybe Neil froze. Oh, are you okay? Okay.
Oh, so I'll have to edit that. Sorry. How long does it take to edit all that footage down into a feature film?
I mean, we edited actually not that slow. I think it was in total, I think maybe 10 months or something, almost 1 year editing. But it was a lot of work. It's a lot of work for editing. And even though you can make films, documentaries, like for example, now you can make documentaries where you know more or less what's going to happen before the shooting, and then you shoot, and then you build it up in the editing room. There are other documentaries where you have no idea, and then you just shoot, and then you go to the editing room. Whatever it is the case, it's going to take a lot of time, because whatever it is you have in the material, it's of course not the same as what you thought, and of course things develop differently, and then I don't know. Somebody wanted to achieve a dream, and then this didn't happen at all, and then you cannot tell this part of the story in the film. So, and then all the emotional connections to the material is also super, super important. It's a very, very long process of understanding what is really in the pictures and what you feel as a director and as a cinematographer, and being with them and being friends of the protagonist. So yeah, it's a very intense process. So yeah, 10 months, and it's not that long. Actually, I think we could have a little bit longer. Will have been good. I say at least 1 year. It's good for the project to work on the things at least for 1 year. Mm-hmm.
Trista, do you have another question?
I'd love to know what some of your personal favorite films are.
Personal favorite films. Okay, so if we think about, there are so many. Okay, I always say this one. I love Bombay Beach. It's a wonderful documentary film. I love, there is this wonderful director, Susanne Mores, who did Rape in Iran, and she did also this crazy film, Saidi Runaway. There are films that are telling stories of heroes who are fighting for a dream, and maybe they get it or don't, but it's like a very character-driven documentaries. And yeah, so those will be my favorite films. I mean, I love Claire Denis. I don't know if you hear about her. This is a French director. female French director. She's been doing amazing stuff. She used to work with Agnes Godard. She's the cinematographer. So it's two female behind the camera. And their pictures, their films are like poems in pictures. It's super, they're super nice, super sensitive, and hard. Also, the stories they tell, they're also very hard, but powerful woman.
What was it about documentary filmmaking that interested you?
Hey, you know what? I had the great opportunity to study filmmaking in Berlin. Like, I was born in Caracas, I grew up in Madrid, and I live in Berlin. In Spain, the film schools are very expensive, and I couldn't afford them. So I had the luck that I could speak German, and I take a look. Okay, Berlin, there's a film school. Okay, I want to go there. So I went to Berlin, and I didn't knew what a documentary film was. And then we had this the first seminar we had where we have to shoot something, and it was a documentary, and I was like, totally boring. And since this one day where I discovered what a documentary film is, I said, okay, I love it. Because it is, first of all, it is an adventure. You go somewhere, you cannot plan what is going to happen. So you always have to be like very aware and very empathetic to the things around you. At the same time, you should have a goal of more or less what you want. So you have to see how to achieve it. And then you get to know people that, I mean, if I wouldn't have made a documentary, I would not have the possibility to be living with this wonderful woman. And for 5 months, and we, as we were saying, we're still in touch. Like they became really a part of my life, of our lives. So yeah, documentary filmmaking is something I say, for me, it's a personal growth, like I have the chance to talk to the people, I have the chance to meet them, and in the best cases, and this is like, I think this is the reason why I managed to break a lot of prejudices. I try not to have prejudices about things, about people, about how people think, and experiences they have. And if you don't have a conversation with somebody you don't know, and somebody who's very far away from you, probably you will still have your ways of thinking. So yeah, documentary filmmaking for me means it's a way of really understanding the world much more deeper than just, from thousands of kilometers away. It's a way of breaking prejudices, really. And if it works well, maybe I can bring this also into my stories, this idea of thinking differently about people and about places and about ideas. Just more philosophical, yeah.
So Luchadoras starting next week at South by Southwest, which will be virtual this year. And is there a website or on social media people can follow you or the film?
Oh, yeah. So Instagram is in Spanish, El Insta de Paola Calvo, but I think if you put my name, you'll find me. Patrick Yasim, also Philip Kaminiak, the producer, you can follow him. Tumult Film is the production company. Tumult Film is also the website if you want to look there. I think those are the main. And then all the cast, like if you look for the names of the luchadoras, you'll find them. Lady Candy, Baby Star, Mini Sirenita, Miss Cat. They are all there, and they will be happy to get your interest for sure.
Yeah, I actually looked them up after watching the movie. So.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I loved it. Both of us did. It's very emotional, and I mean that in both ways. It starts off very striking, I don't say depressing, but it's also very uplifting.
Yeah, it is. That was the idea, actually. Yeah, because that's how we felt when we were there also. Exactly these two totally contradictory feelings at the beginning, like, oh God, where are we? And then like, boom. So yeah, loved it, and I hope people check it out. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking your time and your interest and your love and attention.
Thanks. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, this is Sarah Del Rey, the Queen of Wrestling, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.